It is not enough to simply say the FBI did it, or retired FBI agents or former FBI agents killed Dr. King. I mean, that has been a view that 10 years ago was certainly much in vogue, but it's much more complicated than that.
So when you run into data that says the FBI did this or the CIA did that, you have to be very careful, or you have to investigate a little further, because what it really is probably is the overlap of the two.
In early 1968, Myron Billett, a gopher for the Mafia, drove two senior mob figures, Sam Giancana and John Roselli, to a meeting with federal agents at a motel near the small town of Appalachian in upstate New York. At the meeting, the Mafia leaders were offered a contract to kill Martin Luther King.
There were Roselli, Sam, myself, and 3 guys from the FBI, and 3 or 4 guys came in from New York, the mob, and but they were the one that the FBI and the CIA were the one that came up with the hit. They wanted to come up with $1 million. They wanted to pay the mob $1 million to make a hit. And Sam said, no way we're going to get involved in nothing like that. And that was the end of it.
So who was it who made the suggestion, a CIA man or an FBI man?
CIA man.
Myron Billett is a dying man. We think it unlikely that he would tell such a story now if it weren't true. And it's documented fact that Roselli and Giancana were contracted by the CIA to kill Castro. If they rejected the CIA's offer on King, there is evidence that a contract with local mob figures in Memphis may have been effected. In Memphis, we were aware of several frightened witnesses. Bill Pepper is taking us to see one of them.
I found a very fearful man with John. I found him very fearful then, and I find him now increasingly fearful. The first night I saw him, he insisted on our retiring to a room in the back of the garage, general store, and sitting with the lights out. I saw him again, and he always reminded me that he wasn't really unduly paranoid, but that in fact he had been shot at, and people had attempted to kill him, and he had been beaten up, and he at one point was hospitalized. There's a basis for his profound uneasiness.
Do you think he'll talk to us this afternoon?
I don't know whether he'll talk to us this afternoon. He vacillates. Very frightened man. He's just very, very afraid to come on camera and to say anything about this matter.
Tell us, Bill, what's his story?
On April 4th, 1968, at 5:15 in the afternoon, John McFerrin went to Liberto and Latch Produce Company to do his shopping. It was his last stop of the day before coming back to Summer. Shortly after he entered the place, he heard a man he originally called the Fat Man, Frank Liberto, on the telephone. Heard Liberto say words to the effect, shoot the son of a bitch when he comes on the balcony. Don't come round here. Don't call me here. Go to New Orleans and pick up your money from my brother. The conversation ended at that point. McFerrin didn't think too much about that conversation until 6:30 p.m. He heard that Martin Luther King had been assassinated shortly after 6. Then it all made sense to him. He gave a statement to the FBI, Memphis Police Department, and investigators, and eventually the House Select Committee on Assassinations. They all disregarded his comments and ignored it. I've known John for 10 years. I believe John had a crucial bit of information that was never looked at properly, never followed up, and disregarded. And the only reason it would have been disregarded was because it was inconvenient to the scenario that became, in effect, the official story.